I'm a unicorn, and I'm hosting the Echo Show tonight. That's right, I'm a unicorn, and hosting the Echo Show tonight. Oh, you can still see me. No.
Well, you're not like it's not a green screen now.
Welcome.
Alright.
Welcome to the Echo Show, everybody.
Wonderful performance by that unicorn.
Yeah, that unicorn just came in here, started singing.
Wow, why weren't they on the guest card? What's up with that?
It's featuring a unicorn. Oh, happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, April 8th, 2020. Quarantine day, 11,000. I don't know what day it is anymore. How are you doing, Steph?
Sorry, I muted myself.
You muted yourself. How are you doing today?
You can't see me either.
I can see the back of your head.
Oh.
It's okay. I'll vamp.
No, I'm not showing up on the screen.
No, that's because it's a single on me. But now it's you.
You could talk to yourself the whole time, but
No, that'd be weird. As I was saying, how you doing today?
Alright, I finally got my guitar put away.
It's good. How are you doing? Answer the question.
Well, good now that my guitar's put away.
So we're a little silly. We just I think we're riding on a little bit of a high after doing some virtual live theater, which was a blast. We just did our first virtual live theater of Black Prometheus, and tonight we're actually going to talk with the writer of Black Prometheus, Zach Ezer, and after that we're going to have a conversation with a good friend, Teri Svehla, who is a local Oak Park lunch lady, and we're going to talk about what she's been doing to help continue to provide service for D97 families. So I'm excited about that. Before we get to that, though, we got a few minutes here to just talk about whatever. So let's see what's going on in the world today, Steph. Do you have any idea what's going on in the world today? Have you looked at the news?
Are we talking happy stuff or bad stuff?
Any stuff, all the stuff. We can start with a bad thing, a sad thing. The great John Prine passed away last night.
Oh yeah, I saw. Was it Mora who posted about that?
I think Mora posted about it. Everybody was posting about it. We were live in the middle of a stream yesterday over at the Booze Day Tuesday page, doing a virtual show, and it hit about halfway through. Booze Day Tuesday, for those of you who don't know, is a show that I co-host with Ian Leith, who is our band leader, who's not here tonight. But he plays songs and has musicians drop in, and so we were doing a stream last night, and about halfway through, that news dropped, and so it was in the moment he did this wonderful talk about how he got into John Prine, and then just did this beautiful song of John Prine's. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it was just a lot of fun. So
yeah, on Monday, Mora sang one of his songs too at the
on the Monday Echo Show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we did a Quarantine Idol.
Yes,
she sang Angel from Montgomery. That was awesome. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And so now we're just sitting here chilling. So here, we'll do a new segment that is made up off the top of my head. We'll do that's the intro music for it. This is scroll through Facebook and find some news. But literally every single thing I see is the same thing. It's just COVID-19 this, COVID-19 that.
Bernie Sanders dropped out of the
Bernie dropped out. Yeah,
presidential. Which sucks for anyone who wanted to vote for him, but at the same time I think it was the right move, because at this point it's kind of not about who wins and more about getting a certain someone out of office. We're talking political opinions.
We are not for profit, so we don't give our personal political opinions. on that. But yeah, it is definitely about just like whoever they're gonna have, just like getting that done. And also, I guess it's a really hard time to camp for anyone to campaign right
Mm-hmm.
now. So already being behind the eight ball, I get it. Um, and while my views don't reflect the views of the Echo Theater Collective necessarily, I will say like I'm a big Bernie Sanders fan, so well done, well run campaign, and yeah, uh, yeah, that's going to be interesting. I think the coming weeks and months, like as we go into like full on presidential like campaign, is going to be bizarre. Like, how do you
Mm-hmm.
do a presidential campaign in a post COVID-19 quarantine world?
Yeah.
Like what does that even look like? That's going to be fascinating, I think. So, we have a few minutes till Zach gets here. We'll be here in about 4 minutes. So let me see. I can also talk about what I've been binging right now.
What you've
Avatar:
been
The Last
binging.
Airbender.
What is that streaming on?
So I got it on Amazon Prime. I did a free trial of Nick Hits. It's the Nickelodeon channel
Mm.
on Amazon. And then it goes to like $8.99 a month after that. So I'm
I don't really
trying
want
to
to watch
like,
it. I'm not gonna spend
yeah.
$8.99.
So we'll almost spend $9, and by the time that month is over, like I will have finished the entire series. So
That is very ambitious of you. You're
it's
Most people
it's a
are
20
better
minute
bingers
show.
than me. I know, but I'm bad at binging.
Yeah, like I can bust out 3 episodes per hour. Like, come on.
I'm happy for you.
It is one of my most favorite shows.
I
Um,
remember it fondly.
yeah. It's also as always, if you want to comment as we talk to our guests and talk about topics, feel free to pop into the comments and let us know what you're thinking, as well. What else? Oh, another bit of housekeeping. Friday's show will be a special double-sized episode, because it is my birthday on Friday, and I'm gonna have a
Woo!
ton of friends drop in. I'm gonna have the great Anthony Clark, who recently ran for Congress. We're gonna have my friend Wanda Griffin, my friend Sharonda, Rashida, who was on the show last week. We're gonna have a lot of awesome guests, so please tune in for that. A special double-sized, like Friends extravaganza. People will be popping in and out throughout the night,
We should wear
talking about what
party
they got going on.
hats.
I don't know if I have
That's
party hats, and I
ridiculous.
don't know if party hats are an essential service, so I don't know if I can get party hats.
We'll have to make them.
I have to make party hats. I mean,
Yeah.
I have 8,000 hats. I don't know that Kate wants me to bring another hat into this house, so I'll probably just wear one
So
of the
we'll just
hats I
all
already
have
have.
to wear random hats and call them party hats.
Well, we
Any
did
hat is
that
a
on the
party hat.
show on Monday. We'll do that again, where everybody
Yeah,
has to wear a
okay.
hat.
So if you're in the show on Friday, make sure you wear a party hat.
Yes, yes, and we have to wear our quarantine best.
Oh.
Right. So like right now, like because we just did theater, I'm wearing a suit. I have a fancy scarf on, but underneath it are my workout clothes, and I have joggers on and slippers underneath. So this is COVID chic.
Yeah,
So
I've got my yoga pants on and slippers, and this is
yeah,
my work. This is what I wear to work today too. So
nice. So yeah, all right. I'm gonna tell uh where is Zach? I'm gonna tell Zach right now to just go ahead and hop in so that we can get started.
all right.
Let's see, Zach, hop on in. Okay, so I just told him to hop in. He already has the link, so we should have him in just a second.
All right.
Yeah. Um, and if we have time tonight, maybe we'll accept a couple drop-ins tonight again. I really enjoyed doing the drop-in show and just kind of
Yeah.
having that free-form conversation and having people drop in. That was a lot of fun.
My dad said it was a real rush for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
He's like, I was so nervous, but it all turned out okay.
Yeah, I don't know why people would be nervous. Like, it's just like so laid back. This is just like honestly, like, this is just having conversations with people that I admire and like. And
Exactly.
it looks like Zach just entered. A wild Zach has appeared. This is like
Yay.
Pokemon rules. What's up, Zach? Can you hear us?
I can, yes.
All right, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh man, we're good. We're riding high after doing your work. Thanks so much for
Fantastic.
letting us do that.
Oh yeah, no, thanks for doing it. I'm also feeling, very high.
Yeah. So let's just hop in, man. What did you think?
Oh, it was great. I was really excited to see it performed via the medium. I'm so interested in stuff like radio plays, like virtual stuff.
Hmm.
So, and this is the first time I've had some of my work in like a new medium format. So it was really exciting to see that.
Yeah.
I thought everybody was great. I really, really liked the way that the title cards came in. I thought that was awesome.
Oh, I designed those. No big deal.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I never heard this version out loud before, so that was really exciting.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
So, well, before we get to the play, let's start with you because I love to highlight artists and learn about them. So let's start with your background. So, where are you from, Zach?
Originally, Houston, Texas,
Okay, Houston, Texas, and you are currently in
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn.
Ooh, our
Yeah,
furthest.
Brooklyn. That's where Captain Steve Rogers is from.
Yep. Changed a little bit, but still same, bro. Love it.
Yeah. And how did you get into writing and theater?
I've always been really interested in writing. I was a journalist for some time. And then I kind of fell into it when I was in college. I took a playwriting class, kind of fell in love with theater. I never did any theater before that. And that was really exciting. And then I left college again, trying to be a journalist, but it just seemed to not want to happen. So as soon as I kind of realized I wasn't going to be doing that, I just kind of dove headlong into theater. I was already in New York, and it's kind of been history ever since.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
so, and how old are you?
I am 24, about to be 25, actually.
24, about to be 25. Man, all you young kids doing all the things like when I was 24, 25, the only thing I was doing consistently was marijuana. So
That ain't bad life.
the stickiest of the icky. So, um, and are you currently in school or have you graduated?
So I graduated in 2017,
Okay.
and I'm actually going back to school to get my master's in the fall.
Okay. And
That's exciting.
in theater
Playwriting, yeah,
and playwriting. Okay, that's
That's so
awesome.
exciting.
yeah, really excited.
That's awesome. And so I've read Black Prometheus, obviously. In terms of your other writings, would you say you trend more towards the science fiction?
Um, I like using genre to talk about stuff that I'm interested in. So not necessarily science fiction, like science fiction, fantasy, that kind of stuff. I have another. It's kind of a sequel to Black Prometheus. It's called Black Exploitation, and it's about a Black Exploitation like kung fu hero who uses a genie to try to prevent slavery.
Oh my gosh! So we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do that.
Never been before, so I'd love that.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
You gotta be careful though, because once you're in the fold, like I just try and get everybody to like move to the west suburbs of Chicago. You can ask.
I've never been to Chicago, so I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
I'd love to visit.
Yeah, man, you gotta come through sometime. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
once this is lifted, like Stephanie, like I met her, and you live in Humboldt Park,
Mhm.
right? And ever since she's kind of become part of the tribe, like I'm like, you gotta move to Forest Park, Oak Park area. You gotta do it, So
Love a
one
close
day,
family.
yeah. So let's talk specifically about Black Prometheus. Tell us a bit about the play, about why you wrote it, what the circumstances were.
So I was thinking a lot. The first year I moved to New York, like I said, I was a journalist, and I just stopped being a journalist, and I was trying to write like a play, and I kept thinking a lot about it, maybe overthinking it. So I was reading this, like David Ives, he has that collection, All in the Timing, and one of the ones is it's the Bell, and it's the one where it's two people on a date, and they say things, and then they ring the bell, and then like someone says something the other person doesn't like, they ring the bell, and they get to like correct what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading that, and it just always like kind of rang weird for me. I'm like, that just doesn't feel. That feels like I feel like I would never get a bell. You know what I mean? I like there would be no play about like me, a black person, with the bell. And so I thought about kind of the bell just felt like I was kind of obsessed with that for a while, and like me wanting to write essentially like a black version of that. What would it be? And it felt for me like what is our eternal recurrence? And it was like, oh, it's police brutality, because I was like very much going on, and I mean, it's always in the news, but it was especially kind of hit a fever pitch when I was writing it, and I'm like, yeah, let me like kind of work through that. And I came up with like all these different like versions where the bell would get hit, and that's how I came up with like the 5 simulations. There's like 10 or 11 or more that I just like threw out, but those are the ones that I like really ended up liking.
Oh, so there were other simulation ideas that you had. Can you share some of them?
Yeah, it was mostly like for me was that like I was trying to like come do like make sure everyone had scenes together,
Mm-hmm.
and so some of the other ones were just other like scene ideas for that. Like I had originally the doctor's office one was the whole of Booty Poppin', and I also had a club one. Those were like 2 separate ones, and they went different places, and I kind of like cut those up and put them together. I had originally I didn't have the middle one. It was a much longer scene, and it was like it was the white people were the ones who were voicing that, and it went different places. And so it was a lot of like you know other kind of concepts, and I kind of cut the ones that I didn't think worked as well.
Okay. Steph, you got any questions?
Oh, questions.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we got our playwright here.
I know. I'm always like starstruck in front of the playwrights because it's so fun to bring characters to life. And then as someone who's also written something, it's so fun to watch characters come to life. Have you done any acting?
I took an acting class once, and so I got to do some acting through that. And then I was in one of my own shows because I wrote a documentary theater piece where I mean, you're talking about weed. This is my weed play, which was that it was a piece of documentary theater where me and my roommates in college, we got so high out of our minds and watched Monday Night Football. And it's just a weird pair of things to do, and I just would write down like lots of things that we said over the course of like months, and then I kind of like turned that into a play. Then when we did it, we all played like each other. So I played my roommate and close friend Dan, who had the smallest part. He always had class while we were high, and he would come in the last like 10 minutes of the game and be like, "Hey guys, what are we doing? Oh, you're watching Monday Night Football without me and smoking weed. Let me get in on that." And so that was my part for the play.
Awesome. So we have an audience question. It's Sonia. Hey, Sonia. Thanks for watching tonight. Sonia's a dear friend. We did Guys and Dolls together. It was the first thing I'd ever done on stage because I didn't grow up doing theater. I started doing theater in my 30s. It's something I always wanted to do.
That's
but
awesome.
I was not afforded the opportunities to do it because of family life and stuff like that. So, so that was the play that like set me on my path of like eventually like running my own theater company. Anyway, Sonia says, "What famous actors would you want in a Black Prometheus cast?"
Ooh, great question.
That's a great question. So fantasy casting, Black Prometheus.
I know the white femme right off the top. I want Reese Witherspoon.
Ooh.
She is she gets how to be an oblivious villain better than anybody else on the planet. I'm currently watching on Hulu during this time of Corona streaming Little Fires Everywhere, where she plays like a well-meaning white lady, and she's so good at it.
Mm-hmm.
The show's like sort of about racism, and it's like her being kind of like an oblivious racist, and she like nails it, and she doesn't like shy away from it. Like I feel like some people at her level would.
Mm-hmm.
And so she'd be definitely who I'd want. I think I'd probably go younger for the white person, like a Josh Hutcherson type.
Okay. Okay. I like Josh Hutcherson. I love him in Bridge to Terabithia.
Same. So that's my first. He's also in
deep cuts.
He's in this really weird movie called Detention. It's like if you've ever seen Scott Pilgrim, it has and the crazy effects that it has. It's the only other movie I've ever seen that uses the same kind of like video game at the screen effects.
Mm-hmm.
Stars in it. It's watch. Then for the black actors, I probably would want Boyega.
Oh, I love John Boyega. Great choice.
Yeah, he's amazing. And then that's a great question. I don't know who because I cast like the black woman at like kind of variable ages. I feel like I would. I don't know. I would want. I don't know. I mean, if I was going older, because I've just seen her and stuff, like a Kerry Washington or something. But I don't know who would I want younger. Who plays Peggy in the first Hamilton? I'm gonna like look that up.
Oh, what's her name? I
Um.
love her.
Oh, that's gonna bug me. All right, theater nerds. Who plays Peggy in Hamilton?
Her
I
name
can't
is
remember her name.
Jasmine Cephas Jones.
Jasmine Jones. That's right. Okay.
Yep, her 100%.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh,
Okay.
I love that. Yeah.
That's a great cast. All right. Stephanie, do you have yours?
My dream cast for the
Yeah.
me. No. No. I don't
You,
know.
you need a minute?
If we're talking like Kristen Bella's fresh in my mind.
Okay.
I just saw something about her, and I think she as well would be able to play the kind of oblivious part really well because she is so aware of that kind of stuff. I watched her in Good Place, and that's such a good show.
Mm-hmm.
That is Kristen Bell, right? I'm not losing
Yeah, Kristen Bell. Yep.
no actors. See, that's a problem when you ask me these questions. I don't know actors. So that's my one answer.
Okay. Okay. So Kristen Bell's who you would cast is all 4 parts.
All 4 parts.
Yeah. She can play any role, like Scarlett Johansson. Apparently, no.
Oof.
Shots fired at ScarJo.
Do it.
Yeah. I would cast the test subjects, the black people in the play. I would cast them younger. I would do Yara Shahidi from Grownish and Blackish. For Black Femme, for Black Mask, I think I would also do Boyega. I really like that choice. Or what's his name? Justice Smith from the Pokemon movie, from Detective Pikachu.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, word. Okay.
I really dig him. I
gotta watch that.
Yeah. That Pokemon movie. It's good. I don't care. I loved it. And then on the bots side, I don't know if they were supposed to be bots, but we called them Bot 1, Bot 2.
Word. I mean, they're like they're products of the simulation. Bots,
okay.
It's a good word to say.
Okay. So I would cast Florence Pugh as White Femme. I fell in love with her. I recently watched Fighting with My Family, which was like I was expecting to not like, and I like loved it. It was like a really good movie about the WWE, which was weird. And then is White Mask. I would probably do probably like an Ansel Elgort, like one of like those like interchangeable like young 20-something guys, So that's probably what I would do. Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for that question, Sonia.
Yeah.
Lotus, who played the voice, and we had her dressed up as like the watching the simulation. She's like a scientist watching the simulation and going through it. She said, so we interpreted it as black test subjects versus white bots. What was your original interpretation for the relationship between the characters?
So yeah, kind of like I was saying earlier, they're like products of the machine. In the version that we saw, we had the test subject interacting outside of the simulation. There is no that wouldn't happen for the white characters. They just wouldn't exist when the simulation isn't on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I feel like that was like a very they're like Agent Smith from the Matrix.
Okay. So yeah, so they're just part of the program. They're they're the bots. They're they do the thing, right? It's like if you have a bot on Reddit that says like, oh, you're looking for this or something like that. It's like one of those.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So what are you working on right now?
I'm working on 2 plays right now. I'm working on this play. So the way I always start talking about it is in 2007, P. Diddy claimed to have sex for 30 straight hours. Right. No, that's not true. But he claimed to. And so and at the same time, his personal chef was suing him because his personal chef, he would have his personal chef bring him meals to like cap off his like sex marathons. So it's like this.
Life.
So it's this like play about like the 30 hours during which P Diddy would have had this sex marathon, and what the chef is doing during that time. But like I have at the like upstage right, the entire play, I have an actor who is P Diddy pantomiming sex for the entire show.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Like that's called 30 hours. I'm hoping to finish that this year. And then I'm working on another one. I have a commission from this theater called American Lore here in New York. And their interest is like living traditions in America. And so my family is from Hawaii. And in the 70s, my dad was a 70s, 80s. He was a public defender. And he defended these trans sex worker cases. And so it's a story about this group of cases, because there's a specific type of like pre-colonial trans identity in Hawaii called the Mahu Wahine, and it's a story of like the laws that specifically discriminated against them in like the early 70s, and kind of how that eventually became overturned, and they kind of joined the larger trans movement in Hawaii and kind of gained their like sort of full rights in American society.
That's amazing. That is so great.
Yeah, I'm deep in the research on that one right now. It's a little more unwritten than the first one, but yeah, that's another thing that I hope to finish. The American Lore, the way they do it is that we do it here in New York, do like a reading and stuff. Then we would go to Hawaii to try to like talk to and do the show with like some of the actual Mahuahine people. So knock on wood, we'll be in Hawaii in a year and a half or so.
Absolutely. That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that with us. We have another question, one more. This will be our last question for you, and then we'll let you get out of here. Lotus says, why, all caps, why were they in the simulation?
That's a good question.
It's a really good question.
Yep, and it's going to let me talk about my favorite thing. Philosophy, which is that I'm a philosophy guy, so the name of the simulation, right? It's like a Nozick simulation. Robert Nozick is the guy who came up with the thought experiment, the experience machine, which is like if you could be in a machine that like it's what they based the Matrix on, right? If we could make life amazingly good for you, but it was fake, would it matter to you? And so I based it on that, but it's this idea that like who are systems built for? Who are simulations built for? Usually, right? They're like built for often without Black people in mind. Like a lot of technology ignores Black people. I remember like when the Xbox came out with like the camera, it just couldn't see Black people.
Yep, I remember that.
Just a bunch of stuff like that, where I feel like technology is always like leaving us out behind. Like Kodak film didn't develop like dark skinned film for like the first 120 years of like their existence. So stuff like that, where it's like very much I wanted to write something that was like they're in a simulation because we are in the simulation. We're in a system that doesn't think about Black folks, and so that was something I wanted to represent in a sci-fi way.
That's fantastic. Well, Zach, that's about it. I just want to say, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for letting us do your play.
Oh, of course. Thank you for doing it.
I also want to say thank you so much for sharing a bit of your story with us tonight and letting us know a bit about you. It was wonderful to hear. I love all the things that you're working on.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to produce more of your stuff, so let's make sure that we keep in contact. And before you go, let the people know where they can find you.
Oh, great. Yeah. So I'm on Twitter under my full name, which is Zachariah. It's my full first name. It's what I write under, ZACHARIAH, Ezer. I'm on Instagram, Zach.Ezer. And I'm on, most importantly, New Play Exchange. It's where you can read all my stuff. Just search my name. You can search Zach Ezer. You'll definitely get me. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be on.
Thank you so much, Zach. And you have a wonderful evening, all right?
Thanks.
Stay safe and be healthy.
Absolutely. You too.
You too, man. Bye. All right. Now we're bringing in Teri Svehla. Hey, Teri.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you guys?
Good.
I know. I miss actually seeing people.
Yeah. It's been rough out here.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you holding up through the shelter in place?
Okay. I mean, there definitely have moments, but I think we're all doing, the best we can with what we've been given. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I asked you to come on because I saw a Facebook post that you had posted, and we'll get to that in a second. But first, tell the people what you do.
I am the lunch manager at Longfellow Elementary School in Oak Park.
That's awesome. And how long have you been doing that for?
This is my second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
And how does one get into being the lunch manager?
Good question. I have I needed something to do. My youngest is a junior at OPRF. I've had the opportunity, the privilege to be home with my kids up until last year, all of my kids. And so I wanted to have a job. And the lunch lady position was like, I work 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. I don't work weekends. I don't work holidays or the summer. So it was kind of that, well, this might be the thing for me to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, I started before Jim and I got married, I was a teacher. So I just have always, and I didn't want to go back to teaching because that would require me to go back to school. And I didn't really want to do that.
Yeah. And so when was the last? So school ended what, like 2 weeks ago with this now?
Our last day was March 12th.
March
Wow,
12th,
that's
and
almost a
and
month ago.
but you're still providing meals. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So can you tell us a little bit about what that entails
Well, so
and the
we got
why of it all as well?
okay. Thursday, like I said, we got a call Thursday evening saying that we were not going to be going to school on Friday. So Friday, the administration decided to actually provide a lunch for the kids for Friday because we'd already purchased that food from the high school. The high school, OPRF is our food provider.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so they service all of District 97. They bring the food to us, and then we put it in our steam tables, keep them, or whatever. If we need to keep them cold, we keep things cold. And then we serve the kids from that. So we had stuff lined up for Friday's lunch. So we all went to our schools and they brought the food in. And then it was anyone who is on the free and reduced lunch plan. So anyone could come and pick up a lunch. So that's what we did on Friday. And then on that Monday, the 16th, they decided to have the district, have OPRF put together bags of like breakfast items and other non-perishables, like for lunch type snacks. So we had cereal packs or Pop Tarts or granola bars for breakfast. And then there were fruit cups, pretzels, Cheez-Its, Slim Jim meat sticks, that sort of thing in the bags for 5 days for the
Wow.
kids. And so I also had milk left over in my cooler. So we gave milk away that day also.
And so, are these going out to people that were on free and reduced lunch, or what's the delivery system? Like, how do people know that this is available? How are people getting the food to the families? Like, are the families coming to pick it up, or are people coming and grabbing the food and taking it out?
Initially, it was just for families on the free and reduced plan,
Mm-hmm.
but the last couple of weeks, it has changed to anyone. Just because the longer we're out, the greater the need becomes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a set time. We pass out food on Mondays from 10 to 1, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And so anytime between those hours, people can come And we just ask that they sign their student's name and what school they go to. And we give them a bag of food for each student.
Mm. Mm. And is that just until like those like food reserves run out, or are they guys, or is there a commitment to continue this as long as it is needed throughout the quarantine?
There is a commitment to continue this as long as we are out of school through the school
That's
year.
awesome. That's awesome. And that was and that's is that district wide, or is that just Longfellow? Are all the schools doing this?
Longfellow, well, all of the schools are doing it. It is district wide.
Hmm.
There are two schools that you can pick food up at. It's Longfellow, and we on this side of town, and then Brooks Middle School, which is on Kenilworth.
Hmm. So so
Um,
north side, south side, those are your
yeah,
pickup
or if
points.
we're for Julian feeder schools and Brooks feeder schools, but it really doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Um, any district, any District 97 student can get food at either school.
Yeah, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for doing that for the community. That is a really special thing, and I know in a time where we're supposed to be staying the f home, is the saying is going right now. To venture out to provide that service for the community is something that is really special. So I just want to commend you for that and thank you for that service.
Oh, well, thank you. It's, I
Yeah,
mean, there's several of us that are doing it, so
yeah.
it's,
So to all the lunch managers and lunch workers out there, you get an echo love salute from me. So thank you so much for that. So also another cool thing about Terry, Terry also has a band, right?
yes,
Yeah, Mother May I,
yes,
and
that's
I've
us.
heard them. They're fantastic. Maybe we can get you on as a musical guest sometime.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
we've
I mean, it
been,
would be a solo show. It wouldn't, it'd just be Mother, and there'd be no May or
right, there'd
I.
be no
But
may I.
yeah, but yeah, we'd love to have you on again as a musical guest.
Sure, that'd be cool.
Cool. Um, Before we go, last question, or last thing I'll ask you to share with the audience. Is there any way that community members can support these efforts to help get food to families? Or is there anything that people can do in that respect?
Well, the Longfellow PTO and the Hatch PTO and just recently the Irving PTO are all working to any family. They're all working to help the families at their school.
Hmm.
So you can, they have a website where you can go and fill out a Google form, and they will give you a gift card they will send you a gift card through email. Any store, I think it's like Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, a couple of other places I can't remember. But so the PTOs are working um, to help fill the gap where we may not be able to do that.
Hmm.
And they're also the Longfellow PTO also is doing it for those staff members that might not be able to make it without help.
Okay, cool. And we'll make sure to post that. Allison, if you're out there listening, let's get that posted on the Echo Facebook page as well. We'll find those links and post them up there if people want to help. If you're able and you have the bandwidth to do so, we'll get that posted up. Thank you again, Terry. We'll let you get going. Like I
Thank
said, I
you.
would love to have you on it, as a musical guest because y'all, Terry can blow. Like Terry's a good musician, so we'd love to have you on anytime. And anytime you want to come on and talk, we would always love to have you.
All right, terrific.
All
Thank
right,
you so
thanks
much.
so much, Terry.
Thank you.
Have a good
Stay
Be
one.
safe,
healthy.
guys.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye. That was lovely.
It was. It's some much needed good news.
Yeah, yeah, that was good. That was good. So we're gonna wrap up here a little bit early today. We're out of guests, we're out of subjects, and we're gonna wind down here. But we always end with some art. So today, whenever Stephanie's on, she ends up being our musical host, our musical guest. So Stephanie's gonna play us a little tune. Like I said though, before Stephanie plays, we have coming up on Friday a double-sized episode, the Maui Birthday Spectacular. We have lots of fun guests planned. Some that I have already named online, and some that have yet to be named. There's some fun ones that'll come up. So please tune in for that.
I'm very excited.
I'm very excited too. So we'll have a veritable who's who of local community organizers and local business owners, small business owners and whatnot. We're really looking forward to it, and it's going to be a good time. There will be cake, but only for me and Kate. There will be no cake for anyone else. Courtesy
Unless
of
you
my.
buy your own cake.
Yes, you can buy your own cake if you'd like to buy your own cake. Feel free to buy your own cake, but there will be no cake from me to you, unfortunately. I would love to have cake with all of the
Are you
world.
gonna blow out like a little candle?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't even know if we have candles. I'll have to see. I did
light
ask for it to
someone
have a
else on fire.
Superman logo on it, so fingers crossed. Because I'm still a big kid on the inside. So, but also because I'm a comic book nerd, I specifically asked for the Kingdom Come Superman symbol. So our nerd viewers out there, I'm sure will know what I'm talking about. What up? But that's being made by my good friend Portia. We'll have to get her on the program on Friday.
Yes.
To when we get to the cake portion. So yeah, Stephanie's gonna sing a song and then we'll do our sign off. Stephanie, I'm gonna give you a solo. Take it away.
All right. Okay, here's kind of a nice carefree song. I block the noise of the sound of inviting you for the first time. I am so loose. Kiss me fell apart and we drew away and the stars hot tops on everything. Sometimes I wonder how you think about it now, and I see your face in every crowd. 'Cause darling, it was yours. Never looking down. Right there where we stood was holy ground. Holy ground.
That ending was dark. That was a dark chord at the end.
Sorry, A minor out of nowhere.
All right, that's it for us tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, as always, to echo love. Good night.